In this lecture, we're doing something useful with our collision. When we bump into a wall, we're going to print something to the console saying that we bumped into the wall. Very cool. Let's get started. Let's start this process with a simple little challenge, and that challenge is going to be to get set up. I'd like you to create a new C# script called object hit and to attach that script to all the walls and obstacles in your scene. And here's a little hint for you. If you highlight all of the walls and obstacles at the same time, you should be able to add this in one go. So there's a hint for you, and there's a challenge. Take that on. I'll see you back here when you're done. Okay, this is a quick, simple little challenge. I'm going to go into my scripts folder. Did you do that? I hope you did. Keep it neat and tidy. Create. We'll do a mono behavior script. Just easy to do it that way, and we will call it object hit. Hit enter. The next part is to attach our script to our objects, and I gave you the challenge of trying to figure out how to attach to all of these. Apologies if you didn't figure it out. I haven't actually taught you how to do that. And high five to you if you figured it out. I'm going to left click on the first object and then shift left click on the last one. So I've highlighted all of these. Now, if you try to drag, you'll find that it's only adding to one at a time. However, if I go over to add component and search for object hit, click enter, then that adds object hit to the first one and the second one, the third one, and so on. So I've added that script to all of these objects. And object hit is going to be a script that says when something bumps into you, do a particular thing. So we want that functionality. We want that component on each of these objects. And what is that functionality? Well, let's open up object hit and take a look. Now, we went and used a mono behavior script. However, I don't need start and update, so it's perfectly okay to highlight all those and delete them. No one's going to be upset about that. We're going to be using another type of callback, which is called OnCollisionEnter. So let's just start by typing OnCollision, and then you can see we've got here OnCollisionEnter. I can click on that, or I can hit enter on the keyboard, and that will add a whole bunch of stuff in there. Now, the first thing I'm going to do, because I'm a little bit OCD on this, is I'm going to pop my curly brace down onto the next line. I like it that way. You can see the autocomplete likes it this other way. Well, that's cool, but I like it down there. Let's talk about what we've got. OnCollisionEnter, as I mentioned, is a callback. That means for the object that we've attached this to, anytime something collides with it, it will do the thing. So if I move, and then bump, you can see when I bump into it, that would be recognized as a collision because my player game object has collision and my wall has collision, and also my player object has a rigid body. So with that combination, rigid body and collider bumping into this other collider, the game engine knows to do a thing. It says, some collision happened, or some collision happened. And when that collision happened, this OnCollisionEnter callback gets called by Unity, and then anything that we've got contained within our curly braces here will be executed or will happen. So that's the first thing I wanted to show you. The next thing I wanted to show you is that we've got some parameters that have been placed in here automatically. We don't necessarily need them. We don't need to use it even if we are collecting it, even if we are getting this information. But in this case, it's handy to know because it's of type collision and it's referring to other. So basically that's saying, hey, can you let me know who just bumped into me? In this case, the wall, which is where our script is contained. We just put that on there, the object hit script. That's knowing that something collided with it. It's saying, hey, can you tell me who just bumped into me, please? Because I need to know that information. And that's what's being passed in when OnCollisionEnter is being called, which is very, very useful. And you can see we've got private. Up here, we've got public. So we can see these two examples. In a brief nutshell, public means that this is available in a broader context. It's available to more things outside of what we're just looking at, whereas private is only available within the area that we're looking at. So if you're at the start of your programming journey, what I want you to listen for is there's a lot of times where we talk about this information can access that information, or this thing can talk to that thing, or this thing knows about that, but it doesn't know about this, and you can access this but can't access that. And honestly, that's a lot of the battle with programming, is to know who can talk to who and to know who should have information from who. So we're not going to go much deeper than that for now. We could delete that private keyword. We don't need it there. If something is private, you can just omit it. And that tends to be my philosophy. For me, if there's nothing there, I assume it's private. And if I actually go and put the word public, then I know it's public. Other people will always put private in all cases. But it's up to you. It's not a big one. For now, I'll leave it in there just so we don't get any confusion. But a lot of the times you'll see me just delete private because I don't think I need it. Okay, that was long-winded and a lot of me talking, so let's do some more doing. What is going to happen when we collide? Let's print out something to the console. So we start with debug.what? Debug.log. and we put that in parentheses, and we need a string reference, and therefore we need quotation marks. So the quotation marks, what are we going to say in here? Something hit me. And then we'll do our semicolon down the end, save, back over into Unity. We'll access our console, click on play, and now it should be when I bump into a wall, bump, you can see down here, something hit me. Now, important, if I bump and then stay bumping, it's not going to be sending messages and messages and messages and messages because we're using OnCollisionEnter, which is saying when collider A enters into collider B, do a thing. So that's good to know. And looking down here, you can see each time I bump into this object, 6, 7, 8, 9, it's collapsed. If it wasn't collapsed, it would just be printing it out as another one and as, I'd better do it there, as another one and another one and another one. But because we have collapse, it's just collapsing all of the same statements. So you can see it increasing. So that's a way you could do score, or you could do status, or you could do health or hit points, whatever, because we know bumped into me, you know, take my score down, take my score down, take my score down, etc. So that's all I wanted to cover in this lecture. I will see you in the next one.